If you're someone who is living paycheck to paycheck, then you know firsthand how stressful life can be. Managing your money carefully is vital to ensure there's enough cash available for all of your expenses. And, since any unexpected cost can throw you into debt, you constantly feel like you're flirting with financial disaster. This is a very common situation. A study conducted last year by CareerBuilder reports that 78% of US workers live paycheck to paycheck. Interestingly enough, income level didn't matter. Whether they were making $20,000 or $100,000 a year, for many people the results were still the same. If you found yourself in this situation, and you feel like you're just barely getting by, there could be a number of potential explanations as to why this is happening. In today's video, we're going to look at 7 possible reasons that you're living paycheck to paycheck. Before we begin, please click the like button, it helps with the YouTube algorithm. And, subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell for future videos. Now, let's look at why you might be living paycheck to paycheck. If you feel like you have a problem saving money, it could be the fact that you haven't made yourself a priority. Several people treat their savings as an afterthought. They figure they'll wait until the end of the month to save whatever's left over. The problem with this is that during the month when you have extra cash available, you'll somehow convince yourself to spend it. So, whatever's left over ends up being nothing. The best financial habit you can begin today is, start paying yourself first. This means taking a percentage of your paycheck and depositing it into your savings account. If there's a noticeable difference between the extra money you should have versus how much you really have, there's a good possibility you're not tracking your spending. Without tracking of any kind, you're likely to underestimate how much you're spending, or forgetting some expenses entirely. If you're not sure where your money's going, then it's time to review all your transactions for the past several months and track your spending more accurately going forward. There are several free online tools that can help you with this. Spending money more freely when using a credit card is way too easy. Your thought process convinces you to purchase using your credit card, even if you can't afford it, because you have time before the bill comes due. Unfortunately, every time you do this, you're playing catch up until you pay off the purchases you financed. This makes it very difficult to build any sort of savings, because you're constantly working to repay purchases you've already made. Make a habit to pay cash for everything, and avoid using a credit card entirely. As much as we'd like to avoid them, emergencies can happen. And they can get expensive very fast. If there's a temporary dip in your income, an unexpected home repair or car accident can quickly put you into a financial hole. Even if you're doing well financially, a sudden expense that you weren't prepared for can bring you right back to square one. That's why you should start saving an emergency fund of up to 6 months' worth of expenses in order to be prepared for any potential worst-case scenarios. If your living expenses are too high, it's going to be very difficult to break free from the paycheck to paycheck life. It's nearly impossible to financially get ahead if you're spending everything you make just to cover your regular bills. If this is your situation, it's time to get real. Review all of your fixed expenses and look for ways to cut back. Start with your housing. Since this is typically the largest monthly expense, it could be the single reason why you're struggling. If you find you can't afford where you're currently living, moving to a more reasonable area, or living with roommates, can save you a lot of money. It's true that simplifying your lifestyle reduces your expenses. However, there's only so much money you can save while preserving your quality of life. If you're already living as frugally as you can, and you're still living paycheck to paycheck, the problem may be you're not earning enough income. It's no surprise that this can be challenging to fix. It's not realistic to think you can start making more money overnight. But there are plenty of ways to increase your earning potential. You could seek out opportunities for advancement at your current job, or search for other employment with better pay. Perhaps another option for additional income could be finding a side hustle or freelance work. One of the biggest mistakes people make is failing to set any financial goals. Your financial goals give you a source of motivation and a specific target to work towards. Financial goals can be both short and long term, and can be as detailed as you want them to be. The short-term goals can build on each other to help accomplish the bigger long-term goals. As an example, set a short-term goal like contributing $200 or more per month to an emergency fund, and work towards a longer-term goal of saving at least $5,000 in that account within 1 year. Living paycheck to paycheck is not the best financial cycle to be in. And it doesn't always have to be like that. By identifying why you've been living this way, you can help correct the problem and follow a more financially stable path. Thanks for watching. If you liked today's video, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below, and subscribe to the channel. For more financial tips and strategies, check out the next video by clicking the video link on screen.